What's up, guys? Welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 86, presented by O'Neill Racing. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to touch on the Unadilla National, the gnarly track that it was. We're going to touch on the brand new Yamaha 450, the KTM electric PreRide bike, and the Pasha 125 Open at Glen Helen, and Surfer Cross happening at Paula and at the beach here in Southern California. Let's get into it. Starting things off, I was not at the Unadilla National. I was not there to witness it in person or to race it myself. I have raced it twice before in 2016. This year, all of the riders talked about the track conditions where I watched from TV at home after racing myself at Glen Helen. I thought the track looked awesome because the battles and just the racing at Unadilla were intense. There was lots of crashes, no big injuries that I could tell from TV, and lots of good racing with the riders at the front of the pack close together for a long ways into the moto. So crazy racing at Unadilla. I was going to talk about how good the track was for racing and how fun it was to watch it on TV, but the riders, they all had quite a few complaints. I have a quote from Chase Sexton in an interview that he did with Motocross Action contributor Jim Kimball after the race. You could read the full interview on our website, but I want to read this quote to you guys where he talks about the track and about beating Eli Tomac. Chase Sexton said, "Honestly, this morning I was not fond of it," meaning the track. "I really was struggling in practice. I think I was 5th fastest, which is not that good. Before the motos, we made some big bike changes and I made some changes in myself. I just told myself that you can't override this track, as one, it will bite you, and two, it is not faster to race it that way anyways. So I tried keeping that in mind and it worked out. I felt like I was cruising out there. I had a lot of good momentum and that is key here." Big words from Chase Sexton. He took the slower is faster approach, and obviously it was good enough for him to take the win with 2 commanding dominant victories over Eli Tomac, passing him and pulling away, something that very few riders have ever done and very few riders will ever do. We also got an interview from Jim Kimball at the race with Eli Tomac. He said about the track and about his racing, "Today I was just the second best guy. I started in front of Chase both motos and obviously was passed. I tried to do what I could, but he was just riding well. Then I made a small adjustment between Moto 1 and Moto 2 and it was better. I felt like I was around him for a little bit longer before he kind of ran away from me. I still was not able to be within touch of him here. I feel like everything was going his way today and his bike was performing well on the surface. It was the weirdest Unadilla that I've ridden in a long time, just because it was dry with lots of square edges. It was a tough track. It was way different. The past few years, it seemed like we always would get one thunderstorm here, whether the day before or the day of the race. It was abnormally dry this year and the track raced a lot different than in the past." Well, there you have it. Eli Tomac explaining the differences with the track was drier and that contributed to different conditions than normal for Unadilla. So if you guys have any opinions on what you thought it was like to watch the Unadilla National, obviously Joe Shimoda, congrats to him getting the overall win for his 2nd time this season and 2nd time ever in the Outdoor Nationals. Jet Lawrence, he had an eventful day with a lot of big crashes, but he still has a major points lead in the 250 class. Overall, I thought it was a lot of fun to watch on TV, but you guys as fans, if you guys were maybe there at the track and you got to experience it from the fence line, let us know what you thought, or if you watched on TV, let me know what you guys think. Do you think less ruts is better, or do you think it's too sketchy for the riders and we should go back to kind of the normal deeper prep at Unadilla? Next up, I'll talk on the brand new 2023 Yamaha YZ450F. I'll keep things brief because we already have a full video where we dive into the details about this bike, and you can read all about it on our website where we talk about all the different things that are changed on that new model. I can't wait to ride it, but one question I want to answer in this video is that you will be able to get a GYTR, a Yamaha product, accessory hydraulic clutch to put on your YZ450F. So it's going to be an easy bolt-on part that you can buy through the Yamaha catalog to make that cable clutch that comes on the new Yamaha into a hydraulic clutch. So thumbs up to Yamaha for giving riders and consumers that option to upgrade their bike to a hydraulic clutch. Should be pretty interesting to see who runs it and who doesn't, especially in the pro ranks with the Star Racing Yamaha team. Good stuff. Learn more about that bike on our website. Next up, we have a little segment from Marietta, California at the brand new KTM headquarters riding the KTM PreRide bike. Let's dive into it. First time riding the KTM PreRide e-bike. It's pretty, it's definitely not Alta level, but they're not, advertising it to be an Alta bike. But yeah, PreRide, it's all about being free to ride anywhere with the electric motor. You're not going to cause any issues with noise. The biggest issues these things produce is really dust. So it's fun. We're messing around on the Supercross tracks, and I'm remembering why I don't want to ride Supercross ever again. I thought about signing up for Red Bull Straight Rhythm on like a 125, but just rolling around this Supercross track is reminding me that I definitely shouldn't do that. But still fun times playing around on this bike, and excited that we get to keep it and ride it for the next couple months and mess around with it. Next up, MXA's Trevor Nelson spent last week out at Surfercross at Fox Raceway and down at the beach with Jeremy Albrecht and a lot of fun guys from the motocross industry. They got some cool riders, different people who work within the industry, and then different pros showed up as well at Surfercross. In the overall finishes, I actually don't know the riders who won, but basically how Surfercross works is they team up a pro rider with a pro surfer, and they're on a team. They do motocross the first day, a team race, and then they do surfing the next day, combine your scores, and those will give you the winner. They had a lot of guys show up. It was Brandon Tipton and Forrest Minchinton who won the overall for the pro class at Surfercross. I do know who finished second and third though. Sean Lepanovich, good buddy of ours, he finished second with his teammate Blake Howard, and Kalana Humphrey, the popular young 85 rider. He's a Red Bull sponsored athlete and a lot of fun to follow on social media. Kalana Humphrey and his teammate Josh Slay, they finished third overall, and for Kalana, it was actually his first ever race on a KTM 250 stroke. So good times from Surfercross. Enjoy some of Trevor Nelson's footage from there, and also enjoy this interview with Jeremy Albrecht. He was the JGR team manager up until their team went away. He was also previously, before that, Kawasaki team manager with James Stewart on the team, and he's been working with a lot of riders. Now he's transitioned from JGR motocross team manager into JGR in-house, helping them with more of the NASCAR and the other divisions that they got going on in North Carolina. And Jeremy Albrecht is also now working for the AMA, and he's going to all the Supercross races, working as kind of a liaison between the riders, the teams, and the AMA, working on enforcing rules and stuff like that. So Jeremy Albrecht, he's got a fun interview here. Let's dive into it.
Yeah, so my real job, I work for Joe Gibbs Racing still, and I help the machine shop get some work. And then just because I was feeling a little bit out of it, and the AMA called and asked about help on the weekend, so I've been a race official for Supercross. I did most of the events. I did 13 of them. So plans to do it again next year. It was a little different, definitely dealing with the people. You're really dealing with people that are being too aggressive or doing something wrong on the track. So I didn't really like that at first, but I got used to it. It got more like an investigation, and then I started to enjoy it a little more. So yeah, I still plan on doing it. Started to enjoy it a lot more. Way different than anything I've ever done, but yeah, it's fun to be part of what I know. I know motorcycles. NASCAR team, I'm happy they kept me there to help get some work for the machine shop, and yeah, just try to do a lot of different things. That's why I like to do this, see all my friends, and yeah, I make more friends from this than anything I've ever done, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, actually the nice part for me, this is the first time I can tell you that I don't even really know where they're at in the schedule. I do watch it still, but I helped in Supercross, nothing outdoor, so I've been having weekends off. It's been really nice to take my kids racing, so I have more time for family. I think I'm busier than I was though, because now they want to ride and race and all that, but yeah, I'm enjoying having weekends. I'm sure all those people, I know how they feel. Like about right now, every time I think, I don't know how long I can keep doing this, so for me, I just got a little break, not doing them every weekend, and yeah, I mean, everyone that does it, they love it, just like I did, and you just do it because that's what you know and you love. Yeah, so the new Super Motocross thing, I think it's good. It's definitely always been like they're two separate series. They don't really collaborate much, so I think it's been needed. Sounds like the TV deal will be better. A lot of things they can help. I think it's competition is good, and I think it helped push them to do things that are going to be better for the sport. And yeah, it's interesting. I don't think people want more races, but it sounds like there's only one more than what they have been doing, so that's good. And there still are champions in each series, and then having a different series. Like even the Monster Cup, they had it forever, but not everyone did it. So it's, the toughest part really is so many races, but the privateer guys, it's better for them to race more. That's how they make money. It's only the top guys that get paid enough money that they don't have to race every race. So it just depends on who you are, where you are at. If you're a mechanic just starting out, you still want to go to every race, because then later you have family and things, but at the beginning you just love going racing. So it just depends on where you're at in the career, and yeah, I think it's good to have options, so it's cool. Yeah, I think the world Supercross thing I think it's great. I think that it's it's creating everyone here to step up and do things better for the sport. I think, again, like, competition is good. We needed some other people doing it. We'll see if it works. We'll see if the Supercross and Motocross guys can make their stuff better. And I think it's been the same for so long that it's good to see people come in and make it better. And, you know, it's helping a lot of guys that wouldn't have rides have rides. A lot of people that wouldn't have jobs. And, you know, hopefully they both get good enough people to make it work for both sides. But it's too early to tell if it's going to work or not going to work. I know it's definitely tougher than they think. Money doesn't fix everything, but it definitely, you know, it helps, and it's helping put money in the sport. So it's good for everyone. I'm excited to see what happens, and I think it's good for the sport, though we need it. So I'm used to doing a lot of different things. So when I ran the team, you know, it's always, you're always doing something. You're working on future stuff, future sponsors, future riders, trying to do everything. So I'm used to doing stuff all the time. Now that I'm helping with the machine shop, that's been good, and then I can fill in and do the weekends. Coy let me go on the weekends to do the AMA job, so that was easy. I just flew Friday night after work. I was only there on Saturdays. I fly home Sunday and then work all week. So my wife and kids let me do it. I guess that's the bigger thing. It's a lot of work. And then this event, every year it gets easier. At the beginning it was definitely harder, but like I said, I was younger, didn't have kids when I started this. Now my kids are doing this. My nephew, my brother's out here riding today, and he hasn't done it in many years. So once it got rolling, I kind of don't want to give up on this because, like I said, it's fun. I see all the people I usually only see at this event. I've made lots of friends, and all the sponsors like Fast House, 805, all these sponsors that come together to help me make it easy, it's been great. So if it was hard, I wouldn't do it, but I do get a lot of help. Everyone has their little piece that they help me make this all happen and pull this off. And living in North Carolina does make it a little bit tougher, but still, it gets better every year. It's like everything. We always learn and try to make it better the next year and try not to make mistakes. So yeah, learning all the time. So this event, it's now a team race. It started out where it used to be surf, they raced against each other, and moto guys rode against each other and raced. McGrath and Emig were complaining that they already battle all the time, so to make it fun, we trade off every lap now. So you pull a partner out of a hat, a surf guy pulls a motocross name, they go out down as a team, we put the same numbers on the bikes, and then they start the race and we trade off every lap. And then after today, there's winners. We give trophies tomorrow for the guys that are top 3. Tomorrow we do that in surf as well. You surf as a team, you have the same color jersey on, you get scored as a team. And then there's winners tomorrow at the surf. And then there'll be overall scores, that there'll be an overall winner as well. So, you know, all the trophies, there's more because there's 2 in each class. It's a whole team event, so it's fun. And it really comes down to if you get lucky and pull the partner that can do both things well, or usually the best surfer is the worst motorcycle rider, because whatever sport, they're both very hard. It's like golf, motocross, you gotta do it all the time to be good. Surfing, you gotta do it all the time. And that's why I like it, because you can respect each other's sport. They're both tough. It doesn't matter if you picked it up a week ago. You have years and years to get better at it. And it's just fun to see people have fun doing things they don't normally do. The cross, yeah, just doing different things. I love it. I think it's cool. And again, they meet somebody new that they didn't meet. Every year you get a different partner usually. So it's just a fun vibe. It's all free. There's no entry fee. There's no gate fee. We feed 300 people. Pizzanista's feeding everybody today. Tomorrow Wahoo's will feed everybody. So yeah, just try to make it fun. We give everyone shirts, everyone a hat. And yeah, it's all fun. All right, so we're out here at the beach. Obviously team event yesterday at the moto. Trade off every lap here. You're out in the water, you're surfing as a team, you're both getting judged. You only can do it off of one wave. So your best wave for each partner is what's put together. So both of them need to get a score. It's definitely shortboard scoring, same as normal contests. We have real judges. And yeah, out there right now it's the top 3 teams. So today, start with 28 teams, go down to the top 9, and then you qualify there to the top 3 teams out there right now. So that's how it works. And then we'll have an overall winner from both days here in a little bit. So really it's, for getting points, you have to ride a long wave, how many turns, going each way on the wave, not just going straight into the beach. That's obviously probably a 1. If you do one turn one way, that's probably 1.5, and if you turn and go the other way, that'll get your score up there even more. So like A motorcycle guy, typically like my son, he's about a 1.5. That's his standing up, small turns. And then like my nephew did some 8s, which is really like turning, and if you go up and hit the lip or you float on top, like those are obviously bigger scores. So it's pretty difficult, but yeah, all different levels of surfers out here today.
Also, before we go, we have a couple clips from Glen Helen this past weekend where I did some racing on the 23 KTM 450 that has some suspension built up because I'm gonna race that bike at the Paula National here coming up in 2.5 weeks. So we did a Honda, a Cowie, a Husky, and now a KTM at 4 different nationals this summer. Good times. Also busted out the Gas 150 Pro Circuit 2-stroke bike that thing rips, and it was fun to ride that bike. So we were back-to-back motos. It was good times out at Paula, not at Paula, at Glen Helen this past weekend. And MXA's Josh Fout, he helped me out. Thanks to him for being my mechanic, for putting the suspension on the morning of the race. And he's also gonna explain why he didn't race this past weekend. Check it out right here. We have some video footage of his big crash. Oh! Josh Fout, why aren't you racing today? We're gonna feature your clip right after this.
Because I crashed my brains out, rung my bell, my neck still hurts, and you needed help working on your bike for safety reasons.
I did need a lot of help. So we're gonna play the crash in slow-mo right now. So can you just take us through what happened?
Yeah, I almost hole shotted. We'll say almost. Bike hit a wet spot, knifed it, straight to the ground. Pretty much all I remember.
I mean, you were falling for like a while.
I wish I could tell you. I mean, I seen the video, but
in the video, you were already swapping like once you come into frame.
Yeah, you know it's bad when everybody behind you stops to make sure you're okay. That usually never happens. I think only one guy went. You know,
yeah, so. That's funny. All right, well, how was today?
It was good. I got my steps in. We got some suspension on.
It's good stuff.
Your new bike, so hopefully it's all good for Paula and you don't get tired anymore.
I like it. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to this video. As always, subscribe to Motocross Action on YouTube and click the like button and leave a comment down below to let us know what you thought of this video and what you want to see in next week's video. Thanks for tuning in. MotocrossActionMag.com for more news, reviews, race results, product tests, bike tests, interviews like the ones from Chase Sexton, Eli Tomac, Justin Cooper, and more. See you in the next one.